All right, we're back. Another high tide imbibe, and we got something new to check out here. This came in 12 packs in the NSLC this week, I believe. For me, anyway, my NSLC. So, what we have here is Painted Boat Beer Company, their lager. So, looking at that, 5% alcohol by volume. And it doesn't really say much else on the can, really, other than where are they from? They're from from Stellarton, and they have an association with another company in Stellarton. Well, they're just a division from the said company, and we'll do a share here, so we'll get into some background on these guys. Share screen, Chrome tab. So here we go. This was from January 2020. They sort of launched, and it took them some years to get their stuff going. Painted Boat Beer Company, so more than 2 years after it was first announced, and this is courtesy of Canadian Beer News, by the way. Painted Boat Beer Company was officially launched just for the holidays with the release of Painted Boat Lager, which it says a European-style lager. So, like, they're part of Nova Scotia Spirit Company, and I think I can jump into this. It'll keep sharing. Yeah. So, if you're not familiar with the Nova Scotia Spirit Company, they actually do make some pretty good products. So, they have their Blue Lobster vodka, their gin, and their rum. I've had their gin before. It's really, really good. Nice, subtle, sort of dry gin. And, of course, they have their Blue Lobster vodka. They do the sort of seltzer vodka drinks and stuff like that, too. So, they got a bunch of that stuff going on. They don't have an official website yet for their beer. Here's the price here in the NSLC, $23.99 for a 12-pack. So it's going for the budget craft lager maintenance beer kind of thing that's been happening lately with some beers like Propeller with their Prime Lager, etc., etc. And all they have is a Facebook page, so we don't even need to see that because there's nothing on the Facebook page, really. So there we go. So yeah, pale Euro lager is what they're saying this is. So that kind of makes it very nondescript, and they don't have to really claim it's anything, because pale Euro lager can mean a lot of things, honestly. Generally, you kind of think, okay, whatever sort of generic lager comes from Europe, like Heineken or Stella Artois or something along those lines. But it's kind of what they're going for here, I guess. So we'll pour the sucker. It's very pale. It looks like a light lager, honestly. It's so pale straw in color. Like, look at that. Not much of a head either, which is saying something, because this is a glass that's conducive to keeping and building a head if you have a beer that can really do that. But this is very, head just dies away real quick. So going into the aroma here, there's not a lot of anything. It's a very light cardboard malt kind of smell. This light, soggy cardboard, kind of dry, musty. It honestly reminds me more of the sort of aromas you'll get off a lot of non-alcoholic beers. So we'll go right to the taste. Cheers. There's not much going on, honestly. It's very watery, very light. Like I said, how it looks and how it smells and shit. Like, you would expect this to be a lager that's on the side of like 3.5% alcohol by volume or something like that, because it's just so little going on. It's so watery. In the finish, it's pretty dry. Um, and it does sort of build a little bit of a earthy slash like canned vegetable kind of thing going on. Not enough that I'd say like brewing faults or anything like that. Just it's very light, very cheap, very light. Not a lot going on, but it's super easy to drink. It's just not super pleasant to drink. This is designed to be a maintenance beer kind of thing. One of those ones that you just have on hand between the beers you tend to really enjoy. Um, and for that, I guess it kind of works. But I mean, there's better examples of this on the market right now. Like I said, the Propeller Prime Lager is at least nominally better than this. There's the Garrison Tall Ship ale. Excuse me. Stuff like that. Very, very good stuff that does the same thing and is within the same price range pretty much. You're just better off buying those. Honestly, I wouldn't buy this again, especially since I had to buy a 12 pack. I found that a little insulting. They should at least give me like a 473 milliliter can that I could have tried first before I invested in a 12 pack. But whatever, I had the extra money laying around, so I decided to do it. But I would suggest you don't do it. Style wise, pale Euro lager. I'd rather drink Heineken or Carlsberg or Stella Artois or anything over this, even with the inflated prices. I would still drink those over this. Like style wise, it doesn't even scream pale Euro lager. It has all the attributes of like a light lager. Yet it's not a light lager. So, I mean, style wise, I'm probably just going to throw about a 4 at it. And my own personal enjoyment, I can give it like a bare pass of 5. Like there's nothing noticeably bad about it. It's not actively have any off notes or anything like that. But it's not anything I particularly enjoy or would go back to. Maybe if someone handed me this, I might slug it down if I was desperate. But otherwise, total one to avoid. Unfortunately, Painted Boat Beer Company, their first offering, their lager is not good. So sad to say that, but maybe they'll come up with some stuff that's decent as they mature as a brewery. Stuff that will match the quality of the spirits they put out, which are excellent, by the way. And I would definitely recommend you pick up like their gin or their rum or their vodka, because those are all really good. But this is meh. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we will be back in a little bit with at least one more beer review before I have to do some other stuff tonight. So cheers. I'll be back in, say 15 minutes.